Failure never signals the end. Rather, it tells you what more should be done, what can be done differently, what should be done better. Deciding to stay back on the ground when you fall and fail is what truly signals the end in this journey of life. The world we live in is one that is filled with many setbacks, failures, and obstacles. And it takes a resolute mind to keep going. And that is why the need for this pressing reminder arises today, that it is not over until you win. Failure is a quote one too many have won. I've won it, you have won it, everyone has won it. So don't feel like you're special, why me and all of that. Nah, we have all failed at a certain point. There have been points in our life where we felt quitting was the better option. Why struggle? Why bother? Why not just be resolute and say, I'm not doing it again? I'm going to be sharing a story, my charges at you from that story, and my challenge for you today. So that when life pushes you to the ground, when life tells you you don't matter, you don't count, you can stand tall and firm and say, no, I have my place here. I have what I'm meant to do here. I have the capacity to do better. Remember that student who never does well, who is a stress and a headache for the teachers? That's who Augustina Ogiji was in the board of lectures when she joined. I could read and write quite all right. But when I stepped on that altar, it felt like a shroud of failure or fear engulfed me. And I would stammer, I would stutter, and I would not be able to continue. Rather, I would make a mess of everything and then come down in tears. I wanted to give up. My parents wanted me to give up because they felt like the humiliation was going to be disastrous for my mind as a child. But my catechist at that point in time, he never let me do that. God rest his soul. He kept pushing me. He saw my potential. He saw what I could do. And so if I messed it up today, he gave me another reading tomorrow. If I messed it up tomorrow, I had another reading. And with that constant facing that fear, I kept on facing that fear. He kept on pushing me. First of all, I gained that realization that I can actually do it. If somebody could believe in me, could see my potential, that means I can do it. And so I believed in myself. And constantly facing that fear, at a point I became less afraid. What was the big deal about it? What was actually the big deal about it? That whole journey of pushing myself despite the fear, looking for ways to improve, learning from my mistakes, it took me from that inept lector to one of the best proclaimers wherever I go to. My parish, other parishes, even in school. My journey to the next CommMaster stage cannot be complete without that story. Because my first classroom and stage as a communicator was on the altar at St. Teresa's Catholic Church, Ikota. That constant push, it helped me to gain that first realization that despite my challenges, despite my struggles, despite my failures, I can actually do better. And that those failures do not define me. It pushed me and it helped me to constantly do better. Many of the success stories we see today, they all failed. Don't be deceived. They all had their points where they failed, but they kept going. They kept pushing. And in that, they became success stories that we all talk about today. Abraham Lincoln is one. Albert Einstein is another. J.K. Rowling, Colonel Sanders, the owner of KFC. There are many others who have failed countless times but never gave up. They kept pushing. They kept going. And today, we all talk about them. Someone even termed them successful failures. So if they can do it, you can do it too. Don't let anybody tell you differently. If they can do it, you can do it too. Failure should be seen as a feedback from the future. It tells you what you should improve on. It tells you what you should do differently. It tells you what you should change or make better. That's what failure does. And that's how we should see failure. It should never be a limiting barrier. It should never be a chain to hold us. Rather, it should be that learning curve that tells you, oh, I can go about it a better way. Oh, I can go about it this way and achieve a good result. And with that constant practice, constant push, when you fail, you can achieve success eventually. Many of the geniuses you see today, they never started any skill at the level of mastery. They never did. They started with that awareness and that belief in themselves that I can actually do it. Then they went on to learn about the skill, and then they went on to practice. They practiced even when it was not looking like it was making sense. Even when it was not giving everything. Even when it feels like they were messing it up, they kept on practicing. And that constant practice is what took them from where they were to where they are now. So, my challenge to you today is this. Even when it seems tough, even when it seems like it's not going anywhere, have that courage to start, first of all. Then have the courage to keep going, to keep practicing, to keep pushing, to keep taking a step forward, even when it is not making sense. Have that courage to keep going. That's the most important thing. The moment you keep going, the moment you keep improving, the moment you keep doing that which takes you closer to your goal, in a few years' time, you'll see yourself already there without even knowing it. You'll see yourself having achieved all that you expected. So, keep on being courageous. Rather than failure, shove it aside and tell it, no, I don't need you. What I need is courage to push ahead. Wear that courage and see yourself transform with confidence to that starlet you are meant to be. So that in the future, you'd look back and tell yourself, yes, it was never over until I achieved victory. Thank you.